everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you guys a question. If you were just casually going to your car, or you was just doing something and you saw a guy assaulted a female, or tried to do something to a female, or touch a woman inappropriately without her permission, what will you do? This is real questions in real life. Everybody talks a tough game of what they will and will not do, but we live in a generation where some people will not do anything. And I have to admit, I've been times like that too, like, no, that's not my go-to, because I have my child in my car. But this is it's a good question. Those that's either less lethal, or those with a gun, or those who know how to fight, or those in law enforcement, when you sit back and say nothing and allow a person to get assaulted, or will you say something, or will you call the police? What will you do? This is real conversation, real situation, real life. What will you do? Will you say nothing? Will you observe the situation? Will you videotape this? What will you do? And this is real application. Let me ask. I'm asking this question in seriousness because I just saw this today. I was going to my car just to grab something, and I saw these kids walking in the parking lot. Have to be no more than 15, 16. And I saw this girl. She was just kind of laughing, but she was grabbing her chest. And I'm sitting here like, oh, okay. Then I saw two guys behind her. And I said, okay. Kids being rough out kids, whatever. Working in a bad area, whatever. Then I saw this dude had this girl pressed against my car. I walked away, about to go inside the building, and I saw this dude press this girl against my car. So I said, hey, get off my car. So they didn't move or move in faster, but they definitely started moving out of direction. She's sitting there laughing at this. And I'm saying to myself, this is like my childhood all over again. Seeing this,
2 miles, keep left onto I-4.
seeing this horrible situation. Granted, you can say kids gonna be kids, which they are. We were once kids, and we was in very bad situations. We have experienced or been part of situations that, as a parent, you would hate to hear your child experience. But you may have done the very exact same thing, but you got it together, right? But anyway, what I did was say, hey, get off my car. I had no weapons on me. I have nothing, they can have a gun, I can have nothing. I had nothing, but I felt like this is a situation like, no, you're not going to just do this in my presence. And I'm not saying I'm some type of hero. I'm not saying I'm some type of person to save people problems. Life is real hard to sit there and try to fight everybody's problems. You need to fight your own problems. But what I observed was like, I'm not going to sit there and let you do this. It's not in my presence. All my training, all my belts that I trained for, all of these belts don't mean nothing if I don't do the right thing. If I don't do the right thing and use my ability, good, bad, or indifferent, to help protect somebody, it don't mean anything. And you know, people say call the cops. Everybody know cops are not coming in the hood, not quickly. That's not what they're going to do. So what do you do? If I had my burner, I would definitely pull my burner out. Let's start one. Number two, if they start mouthing off, I should my burner. That's it. Number two, most of the times with the burner, it'll just end all problems. But let's just say if they have a gun. Number two, I pull out my gun. And then I will let the jury solve the situation. And I'll use this fancy gun insurance that I pay for and let it work for me. I always say the best self-defense is not to be there in the first place. That's the best self-defense. But what about if you can't leave? What about that is your normal living situation? What do you do? Well, first thing first, I'll be strapped up no matter what job. I'll be strapped up. Number two, I will quickly find a way to get out of that neighborhood in some form or fashion. I don't care if I have to work 2 or 3 jobs to live in a better neighborhood. I would not work or live in that neighborhood. Work, yeah, you know, that's where you may get the most money. Live, no. I would not subject my family into a situation, because what's going to happen to all 3 of those kids, she's going to get gangbanged or get part of a threesome at best, or worse, get raped. That's kind of what's getting ready to set up. Definitely going to get pregnant if she doesn't have a kid already. Because if you're a female and you allow a guy to put his hands on you in fun, and I'm not talking about just roughhousing, you doing stuff, you know, as a couple, but I'm talking about literally putting their hands on you in intimidation to make you comply. Guess what he's going to do when he's angry? He's going to hit on you when he's angry. That's the God. That is the God honest truth. And I'm pretty sure he's going to hit on her physically, because guess what? That's what he has observed himself from other people, and thinking violence is the only way to make her comply. If you put your hands on a female, you're not really in control. You really don't have any control, actually. You just use intimidation. But yet, I tell women they need to do self-defense and they laugh at me, or they look down on me, or they say, oh, that's not for me. So it's easier for you to be a sex toy for this dude anytime he feel like it than to actually learn how to fight and defend for yourself. So, but anyway, as an adult, looking at this, I feel bad for her. But sometimes teenage girls, they think that's the only way they can receive love. And you can tell them different, like, hey, this is the wrong dude for you. And some girls will look at you like, shut up, mind your business. And you like, okay, not like I didn't warn you. But these are the time you train. This is the time you train for your weapons. That situation, just observing and not seeing what they had in their pocket, unless Lethal could have took care of that situation, most of the people realize they're like, oh shoot, F you, and they'll run off, right? Worst case situation, they could have had a gun. And some people say, well, if you said nothing, they wouldn't pull out their gun. I have a theory behind this. If they have a gun and they up to no good, they gonna bring it out eventually. One way or another, they gonna bring out that gun. So you make sure you're strapped just in case that situation happens. But I was very confident and sure that they ain't had anything just from eyeball tests. But these are the times where you actually gotta stand up and do what's right. Don't be a coward and sit there and do nothing when you have the power to do something. Now, if it was 5 or 6 of them, I would think differently. But seize up the situation and see that if you can handle it. I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Now, I saw 2 other guys that's fully grown, and they were as big as me and taller than me. If that was the situation, that was going to be a fight on my hands. But I have enough weapons and I carry a tactical pen that I feel confident enough in my skill set that I can protect myself if that's all they have. If I think about it, I really wish I had a taser on my keychain. But most places I go, I can't have it. And definitely where I work, I definitely can't have it. So, you know, these are the times you have to question what will you do in real crisis situations. Are you going to sit there and say nothing? Are you going to sit there and talk real tough on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook? Or are you going to really stand up when something really needs to happen? So that's all I wanted to say. Have a good one.